This podcast is brought to you by Proton Dealership IT, experts in dealership cybersecurity and IT management. Interested in a free cybersecurity, compliance, or IT consultation? Visit protontex.com. That's PROTONTECHS.com.
Welcome to Daily Drive for Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. I'm Kellen Walker in Las Vegas. Today on the show, a new report says the Dutch government took over Nexperia over fears it was being gutted. VW shrugs off tariffs and starts construction on a $7 billion battery plant in Canada. And dealership profitability jumps in the third quarter. Plus, Tekion CEO Jay Vijayan joins the show to talk about his DMS provider's growth ambitions as well as incoming competition.
I always, encourage healthy competition. At the same time, Pinewood is not a shiny new object.
Let's run through all the news you need to know to keep up in the auto industry. The Dutch government's takeover of chipmaker Nexperia in September came after concerns that the company's former CEO was dismantling its European business. Sources told Reuters that Zhang Shuizhong planned deep layoffs in Europe and was moving technology and designs from Nexperia's Manchester and Hamburg plants to China. Shuizhong also leads Nexperia's Chinese parent, Wingtech. Dutch officials say they acted to protect national and economic security as tensions with Beijing escalated. China responded by blocking Nexperia's exports, fueling chip shortage fears among automakers in Europe, the US, and Japan. Nexperia's Chinese arm has since declared independence, while the Dutch government says it's working toward a reunification deal. The largest automotive investment in Canadian history is moving ahead, despite rising tariff costs and sluggish EV demand. Construction is underway at Volkswagen's $7 billion battery plant in St. Thomas, Ontario. The automaker's PowerCo unit will supply batteries for VW's Scout Motors plant in South Carolina and other North American sites. CEO Frank Blom calls the project a big milestone toward making VW a global battery powerhouse. Production is expected to start in 2027. U.S. franchised dealerships saw profits rise in the third quarter, even as margins on new vehicles tightened. A report from Presidio Group and NCM Associates shows average net pre-tax profit up 7% year over year. Gross profit per vehicle fell 16% to about $1,800. Analysts say profitability is normalizing, but still well above pre-pandemic levels. And those are today's headlines. You can find more details on all those stories at autonews.com. Joining me now from Windsor, Ontario to talk more about the massive battery plant that VW is now building in St. Thomas is Greg Layson, the digital and mobile editor for Automotive News Canada and the host of the Automotive News Canada podcast. Greg, welcome back to Daily Drive.
Thanks for having me back.
So Greg, Volkswagen is pushing ahead despite tariffs and slower EV demand. Is this a risky move?
I think it's a little risky given the current landscape, but, I sat down with Volkswagen Canada CEO Edgar Estrada about 2 weeks ago and grilled him on this very topic, and they are full steam ahead on EVs. This is the future. This is what Volkswagen believes is the future in auto, and this factory, they have the footings poured. There's no turning back now. So whatever that risk may be, Volkswagen doesn't see it. I mean, you're always up against tariffs. You're always up against uncertainty right now. I think everyone's trying to get to the finish line of the renegotiation of the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. And I think Volkswagen is one of the few automakers, at least north of the border, that's looking beyond the short term. So they see real value in this. They see real potential in this, and they believe it will come to fruition and supply batteries to plants across America.
So could VW pivot to other industries like energy storage if EV demand doesn't develop?
That's always been the discussion about other markets, even other automakers. We know that there's consolidation in the industry. We know that there are partnerships in the industry. So the belief, I think, in the battery manufacturing sector of the automotive industry is that there are other things we can do with these batteries. There are other industries that we can supply, because in the end, This is new to everyone in the auto industry, everyone outside the auto industry. So all of the storage, the power, the generation, there are other markets that these automakers and their subsidiaries could turn to.
Well, Greg, what makes this project so significant, and not just for VW Group, but for the North American auto industry as a whole?
This plant is massive. That is what makes it significant, is its sheer size and capacity. It is the largest PowerCo plant in the portfolio, following one in Germany and one in Spain. On top of that, it can supply batteries to 1 million EVs annually. The sheer volume and size of this thing makes it very special for the North American industry. It can supply EV batteries or energy storage batteries if they go that route at some point, if that's a possibility, to anyone in Canada, the United States, all the way down to Mexico. And the one thing we've noticed is the sheer land mass that PowerCo and VW has acquired in St. Thomas. There is speculation that it could one day house a assembly plant there as well. That's not in the plans. We're told it's not in the plans, but the sheer size of this makes it a very special place, very unique. It's the single largest monetary investment by an automaker in Canadian history. So just put that into scope. We have plants that span, 2 factories and 2 plants in some locations here. This thing is massive, and it's here to supply batteries all the way down to South Carolina for the Scout line once it's up and running.
Wow. Greg Layson, thank you so much for joining me.
Anytime.
Coming up, Tekion CEO Jay Vijayan talks about the DMS provider's trajectory, including whether it plans to go public. That's next on Daily Drive.
Automotive News Shift podcast brings you the latest on automotive technology, trends, and transformation. I'm Hannah Lutz.
And I'm Molly Boygon. We're the new co-hosts of Shift, and we're excited to bring you new conversations with experts and industry insiders like this one with Larry Dominique, president of LD Management Consulting.
I do believe the legacy OEMs are falling into a trap. They've got to find a way to, in some ways, build a new airplane while they're still in flight.
Catch Shift, available every Sunday, wherever you get your podcasts.
While you provide top-notch support to your team and customers every day, is anyone taking the time to ensure your sensitive data remains secure? Just one click on a malicious link can place your entire dealership in danger. In fact, the average cost of a data breach surpassed $4 million last year. Stay one step ahead by understanding the threats and minimizing your risk. Proton Dealership IT works around the clock to provide you support 24/7, 365. Operating out of a cutting-edge security operations center located in the USA, Proton continuously monitors, detects, and responds to your potential network issues or cyber threats. You've got a lot on your plate. Keep your focus on where it matters most, your customers. Learn more about our comprehensive services at protontex.com. That's PROTONTECHS.com.
Welcome back to Daily Drive. I'm Kellen Walker. Tekion has shaken up the dealership technology world in just a few short years, and it's still growing fast. CEO Jay Vijayan says the company is on track to reach profitability by 2026 and continues to win business from major retailers. He spoke with Automotive News retail reporter Mark Homer about the company's growth, its path to an IPO, and how he views new competition entering the U.S. market.
I appreciate you joining me. I wanted to talk to you about how things are going and what's the latest with your company. And first off, tell me, how many people work for your company now?
We're close to 3,000.
Close to 3,000.
Yeah.
And how many of that is in the U.S. at this point?
I would say close to 1,000.
Okay. And the rest are?
The rest are combination of India, UK, and Canada.
Okay.
And a little bit in other countries like in Europe itself.
You mentioned some gains about the market and dealership rooftops. Could you recap that for me?
Yeah, we are growing really, really well. We haven't shared any numbers publicly, Mark. So maybe high level I'll share. We are somewhere around like 1,500 plus dealerships in the DMS plus platform. And collectively across all products, I would say maybe 4,000 plus rooftops.
So that means different pieces.
Different pieces
not
installed.
The whole thing.
Yeah, not the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned how many dealerships you're adding per month. Can you give me that ratio?
Yeah, we are adding 60 to 80 a month.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
And but you have a lot of things going on at once. You're also you scored a major win, obviously, with one of the big six. Are you looking to get another of the big six?
Well, we're always looking to get one of the big ones. But at the same time, I feel we know it's a factual thing. These are big corporations, big companies, and it's going to take time. And I always believe in truly earning a business versus selling to a business. So it's a process. So there is no specific timeline I have in mind. And honestly, we don't need to have a specific timeline in mind. We always think about long term. We know we're going to win the business, which is just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I like that. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
So have you reached a point yet where you're profitable? I know you were at the
Very good question. No, I did mention to you, I do remember my comment to you, which obviously I consider it as a public comment. Yes, we are on track to be profitable next year.
In 2026?
2026, yeah.
How soon, you think? January?
I don't have a timeline in mind, but hopefully we'll have in a good way, in a nice surprise. So I don't have a timeline. But the 2026 definitely still tracking well.
I'm glad. And along those lines, let's talk about the financial markets. I know we've talked before about an initial public offering, how the markets weren't ripe and you did your own thing instead. Now the markets have been loosening up somewhat, it seems.
Yeah.
So does that affect your plans?
I don't think so. We keep watching, as I may have mentioned to you, while going public is, one of the things in the cards for longer term. In the medium term, near to medium term, our focus has always been the fundamentals of the business, doing the business right, becoming profitable, having strong financial economics, growth, which has been very strong for us as well. That's been our focus. So I feel everything is tracking well. When the time is right, we will think about going public.
Fair enough. That's a way to politely put it off until it's more relevant to talk about. And that's fair. Now, I have a question I've been dying to ask you. Ever since I've been covering retail technology, you've been the shiny new thing in the market, unlike all the others. But now Pinewood is entering the market, and they're planning a big splash at NADA in January. So what are your thoughts on having a company that's also a big shiny tech entity coming to the market?
Okay, so first I want to say healthy competition is welcome. I always encourage healthy competition, and it's a good thing to keep us and our teams on our toes and make sure that we continue to deliver what we need to deliver. At the same time, you may want to look up, Pinewood is not a shiny new object. So the company was formed in 1981. So you may want to look up, right? So,
but their DMS is shining.
Oh well, it is in the sense compared to what is available in the industry outside of Tekion. But at the same time, as I said, it's a healthy competition, something, we will watch out. They've been doing, reasonably well in Europe, and the complexity for an US market is exponentially bigger. So as I said, we welcome the healthy competition, but I'm really not worried by any means, or I don't see them as a competition, at least yet. Maybe there may be but at this point, I don't see them, consider them. Knowing what we have built as a platform and knowing how complex and big is the industry, yeah, I don't have even the slightest concern.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I also wanted to check in with you. You talked at your talk earlier about the importance of data, and I know that you have legal action in play against CDK for not being able to access data with dealerships who are switching. So, are there any updates to share on that?
No specific updates as anything with the court proceedings. We want to just, maintain that confidentiality, whatever is necessary from a legal proceedings perspective. But our stand remains the same. I think data freedom is something we have vouched for from early days, and we will continue to vouch for. Our dealers, trust and believe Tekion for that. And we are going to be collaborating with our dealers and stay true to our business philosophy of fair competition, which I kind of mentioned, Mark, on the stage as well. I believe in fair competition and fair game. If customers have to decide and choose which is the best platform for them and which delivers the most value for them, and they should have the freedom to move their data wherever they want to.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Tekion CEO Jay Vijayan spoke with Automotive News retail reporter Mark Homer. You can read more about their conversation at autonews.com. That's Daily Drive for today. I'm Kellen Walker. Thanks to Automotive News executive producer Jake Neer, as well as our own Paige Hodder for her reporting for today's podcast. We also add reporting from David Kennedy and Greg Layson of our sibling publication, Automotive News Canada. You can get the latest news on retail tech, supply chains, and everything happening in the auto industry at autonews.com. Come back tomorrow for a conversation about Hyundai's partnership with General Motors now that GM plans to end production of BrightDrop electric fans. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of the show and the topics we covered today. Send us an email at dailydrive@autonews.com or leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2774. And if you enjoy the podcast, remember to like, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.